Hi, so this is going to be a video on how to use Game4U's capture and playback mod. It's available on Modrinth CurseForge, links will be in the description. There was a tutorial, or there is a tutorial by Frozen Whiskers on it already, but it's quite outdated and there have been quite a few changes to how the UI works, and I will be showcasing those today. So, to get started, use the default keybind G to open the game speed menu. These tabs are just game speed. The only really important one is hotkeys, where you can scroll down and find the capture and playback tab. Here, these are the most important ones. I will explain what each of them does once we actually get to making playbacks. And then you have your capture and playback tab. The export button will just create a file of this playback in the place where you specified, and import will add that file to your list. To create a playback, just click new. This will pop up with this window. Then you insert your name, so tutorial. You have storage type, which is either global or world. Global will transfer between worlds, like all of these are global, and you have world, which is just world specific. So you click create, and then this creates your asset. To edit it or to actually work on it, either go in with the edit key or double click on the actual asset itself. This brings you to the track editor, where you actually make your tracks, which can be like opening and closing can be separate tracks, just to keep your playback sort of clean. To make a track, use the T keybind or T key. You can see this creates a track, and then if you select this track and click Ctrl T, it removes that track. Yeah, so to actually make something on your track, just double click and this will make a little bar that you can go into, and this stretches as you add more and more time in your actual playback. So to go into it, just double click on it, and this brings you to the actual playback editor. You can see on the top row you have game ticks, so this would be 1 second. Yeah, and to actually get started, let's say we want to push this block out for 20 game ticks and then have it retract. So we need to make a keyframe on this piston, or just position. If you go into your hotkeys tab, this is where the create new channel keybind will be used. So if I just use my hotkey, you can see that it created. This, I'm also going to show right now what the toggle channel rendering keybind does. So you can see that you can't see the outline through blocks. If I cycle it once, you can see it through blocks, and if I cycle it again, it just turns off. I prefer working on this mode, it's just less cluttered. So yeah, these are the two ones that we will be using for now. If I go into tutorial, I can see that I have a new channel here. So I wanted to extend or stay extended for 20 game ticks, which I can do by just either dragging. So this would, yeah, you can just drag to create a keyframe, or right click new entry. To delete, you can right click delete entry or control click on one of your entries. I prefer the dragging method, it's just slightly faster. So if I do playback start tutorial, you can see it extends retracts. Another feature of this is turning off updates. So if I hover at either end, I can obviously hold this and drag, but if I just click it, you can see that the border gets removed. And now if I run it, so 20 game ticks have definitely passed, but this piston is still extended because it wasn't updated to retract. If I place a block, obviously that updates it. The other mode is to not update at the beginning. I will make this slightly longer so I have time. So if I just run it, it won't do anything because it doesn't receive an update. But if I run it and then update it manually, you can see that it extends and then retracts because I added the update back. You can just add it or remove it by clicking at the end. The next thing is zero ticks and combining multiple moves. So I will create 2 new channels using the keybind. You can move around this menu with middle click or with this bar over here. So yeah, I'll just delete that. So let's say I want the block to move from here to here. Obviously, I could do this with 2 game tick pulses like observers. So if I run it now, you can see that works perfectly fine. But if I wanted it to zero tick all the way over here, and that's possible with capture and playback, I need to first power this, or first zero tick this, and then some bed later power this. To do that, you first need to make it a zero tick, so just drag it to the smallest position it can be, or to smallest size it can be. Then if you click on the number row on top of here, it brings up the micro tick editor for this specific tick. So we want this channel to happen first, so you can see it's highlighted. So this first, this second. So I just drag this over to the one place, and if I slow down the game and play it, you can see that happens in one tick. I'll just tick freeze so you can see it properly. One tick and it's over here. This is extremely useful when making layouts, especially fast layouts. So yeah, the next part is adding multiple pistons to the same channel, because obviously you could just do it like this, making separate channels for all of these, but that is extremely inefficient, and a lot of new people do that without knowing that there is a hotkey, or 2 hotkeys, add channel position and remove channel position. So if I go back into this, I will make a new channel here, and then just use add channel position to extend it. If I want to remove it, I just use the remove hotkey. So yeah, that is now combined. I can make a new channel for these because they have to be separate actually. And yeah, if I wanted to extend this one more down, if I just use my hotkey, it will add it to this group. But I can use the 5th hotkey, which is select channel. So if I go back, I can use that hotkey, select channel, so you can see it has this outline now. And if I now use add channel position, it actually does the proper one. So same here, select channel, add position. Okay, so now I do the exact same as in the previous example. So these pistons power first, then the green ones. Yep. So if I slow down the game again, you can see all of these get powered at the same time. Then you have dust inputs. Dust inputs behave like just regular inputs. To close the microtick editor, just click on top of the tab again. Yeah, so if I just extend it for 5 ticks, you can see that's exactly what it does. For zero ticking dust inputs, it's slightly different because you can't just have the actual dust last 0 bed or 1 bed. It has to last 2 bed, so from 0 to 2, to actually power anything. Because if I just made it like last 1 bed, the dust technically powers, but it doesn't stay on long enough to power the piston. So for dust inputs, you need to be careful to actually use the correct amount of bed. Then you have all of these blocks, which can be powered by capture and playback. There is also the bell and the iron door. But yeah, you can power some of these blocks only in the newer versions from 0.5.6, I believe. So yeah, if I just delete all of these tracks, I can make a channel here, a new channel here, new here, here, and for all of these blocks. And then if I just make them extend for or power for 3 game ticks. So yeah, I have all of them set up, and if I run the playback now, you can see the TNT lights up, the note block powered, the doors opened, the gate opened, the rail flashed, and the bell made a sound. If I turn off rendering so you can actually see something and run it again. Yep. So all of these are blocks that Capture and Playback can power. The last thing is some tips on creating a playback. Let's take this 0.6 3x3 for example, or well, this is a regular 3x3, but I'll make it 0.6. So let's make a new composition. There is also the /composition new type command. I will just use this, it's slightly faster for me. So to also get back easily from here, you can just press the game for you main setup key a few times, and it brings you back to here. If we go into the newly created playback, I make a new track, go inside, and I can actually start powering here. So the sequence is fairly easy. This pushes up, this pushes in, and then this pushes out, and all of these power, but yeah, those are easy. And for opening, you retract this, and in the same move, you have to do 3 things. So you retract this, extend the bottom piston, and retract this, all in the same move, which will require some 0 ticks, and then it's just a simple double piston extender. So the first move on opening is pushing the middle block up. So I will just 0 tick this for ease. Then the block pushes in from the side, so I do that 3 game ticks later. And then I will push them up, and I will use the not updating sort of feature. So if I playback start, you can see that it just stays on. Then add all of these to the same channel, because they, to make it look nice, I guess, they will just happen at the same time. So yeah, you can manually reset it, but what I recommend is using world edit. So just make a selection around your door, then you can / copy, and yeah, if we run our door, right, I forgot to remove the update. So yeah, I want to paste it now without having to reset it, because it can be quite painful in bigger layouts. So you could obviously do / paste regularly, but what I recommend is doing / paste -O, which no matter where you are standing, I can stand here, it will paste in the location where you copied from. This does sometimes cause some small issues with blocks disappearing if a piston is extended because of headless pistons, but that's not really a problem. Usually you can just repaste the layout. But yeah, so it closes fine, you can see. And if I paste it, yeah, exactly, it happened here, so I just repaste the layout. So the closing is done. You can click on top of here to name your track, so closing. If you go back, I am going to make a new track, which will happen slightly later, to open. Opening. So yeah, it shows up here. This one is too small for it to show up, but it will show up. So our door looks like this when it's closed. So the first thing we have to do is update this piston. You could do that with a separate piston, but I just prefer sort of powering it for 0 ticks, which will update it. So this will go down, And then 3 game ticks later we have to retract this block. So I will also just 0 tick that. If I place the layout, yeah, you can see it did exactly that. But at the same time as this gets retracted, we also need to push this piston up into here and also retract this block, which will require some 0 ticks. So once this retracts, we have to power this and then that. So we have to go into the micro tick editor and then just drag to make a keyframe, drag again, and you can just move these around by clicking on the middle, and by clicking on the sides and holding you can extend them. So if I paste my layout again and run it, you can see it now all happened in the same tick. So then the last 2 moves, that's fairly simple. I select this, retract it at 6, and then just retract this piston at 9. So let's paste the layout and run it again. You can see it closed and that retracted, and we only need to update these pistons. I'm going to power all of them, just so these don't retract by getting an update from this piston. So what I do is just this. So we can see if I paste it, that works perfectly. So yeah, don't forget about the amount of bed you need on dust to power stuff. Keep in mind the fact you can add multiple blocks to the same channel, and World Edit is extremely useful, especially for big doors. So yeah, hope this helped, and goodbye.